Hello, how you doing? Yeah, how's it going? Yeah, what? Yeah, yeah. Excuse the Star Trek kind of glasses. It's the light kind of it's kind of shining in my face. Don't wear it out now on me. All right then. Now I'm just playing. Uh, um, this is going to be a different topic on when, but you're gonna hear from the men on why men are just giving up on being single, by being single, and you're gonna hear from the men themselves. But let me start with Average Man's channel, content creator.
So this black woman messaged me and she was like, I feel as though you empathize with black men, but you don't empathize with black women. Well, the reason why I empathize with black men is because black men are the most disrespected out of all the races in the world, right? Black men are the most disrespected by their woman, meaning the black woman, right? There is no other race in the world where women think that it's okay to disrespect their man the way that black women disrespect black men. I'm sorry, but I see why black men aren't dating black women anymore. I really do.
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
Brother on my arm, no brother on your arm.
What's going on YouTube? It is your boy Ron back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. Now, originally I was gonna name this, black woman says she understands why black men are not dating black women. However, I came across another video of a woman in one of the group chats that I'm in on WhatsApp, pretty much sharing the same sentiments, but she dove a little bit deeper, and she even came with some stats to back up what she was saying. Because as you know, black women should I be referring to, don't like hearing this, especially when they hear it from other black women. But I guess I can name this black women who understand why some black men date outside their race. That'll probably be the best way to phrase this. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
So this black woman messaged me and she was like, I feel as though you empathize with black men, but you don't empathize with black women. Well, the reason why I empathize with black men is because black men are the most disrespected out of all the races in the world, right? Black men are the most disrespected by their woman, meaning the black woman, right? There is no other race in the world where women think that it's okay to disrespect their man the way that black women disrespect black men. And here's the crazy part about it. Let's go to the statistics. Let's go to the facts. Black women are the least likely to get married. Black men are getting married at higher rates than black women. Black men are commodities. If you go to any place around the world, most women want black men. Black men are commodities. But for whatever reason, black women don't see that. And then they are entitled and think that they're supposed to come with all this baggage, be out of shape, have all these kids out of marriage, and just be really a hot mess. And then a black man is just supposed to be like, well, I should just settle for this. The black woman really thinks that the black man should be happy with settling with their nonsense and foolishness, on top of being combative and disrespectful. Why would a black man deal with that when he can go get a woman from another race that is going to not have kids, the whole nine, and want to actually get on his program? I'm going to need black women to wake up.
Yeah, other races and nowadays other countries.
Brother on my arm, no brother on your arm.
Because really think about this, you guys. Why do you think you're starting to see such an uptick of black women complaining about dating in other countries, especially other countries where black men are having success in? Countries like where I'm at now, Colombia, Brazil, Thailand, Philippines, Eastern Europe, Africa. These women are going to the exact same countries, and they're not having the same type of luck. You want to know why? Because the same thing that woman just mentioned in this video, are that follows them no matter where they go, and they don't really do a good job of masking it when they go to these other countries, because you can also find plenty of videos of Black American women acting up in other countries. Like I think the most recent one that I can think of, even though brothers don't really go there, mainly women go there for obvious reasons that we already discussed. But Jamaica, because y'all know they just had that hurricane, and guess who were the ones acting up and feeling and acting entitled, even though y'all probably knew that the hurricane was about to hit anyway. It was Black women. And as much as, the Jamaicans try to make it sound like Americans in general, like sweetheart, we saw the footage, we seen the videos. All the videos that we've come across, it's been Black women giving y'all the most trouble down there, not Black men. Most Black men that go to Jamaica, they're going there with a woman. Women tend to go down there by themselves far more than men do. I don't want to hear that shit. So, once again, man, like, your reputation follows you wherever you go, and like she mentioned, women in these other countries want Black men. We're getting married at a higher rate than y'all, yet y'all sit over here and come on the internet and act like we're the problem. Think about that. As a Black man, I want you to think about this. You're spoken of as if you're the problem, yet outside of your race, you're getting married at a higher rate than Black women, and there's more Black women than there are Black men as far as America goes. So that just put things in perspective about which gender in the Black community is the bigger problem. Well, let's keep it moving.
Everyone's gearing up for the holidays. The best friend.
Wow. Black men and Black women have a serious communication problem in America. With some of them, not everybody, but some Black men who are single and some Black women who are single. Let me clarify that. But there might be some married men in relationships that might be going through the same thing.
If you're not a single 30-year-old Christian man, keep scrolling. If you are a single 30-year-old Christian man, where are you guys? Us single Christian 30-year-old women are straight up thinking the Lord might have run out of husbands.
I can't do it, Lord!
Okay guys, stay with me. I want to know, why is it that there's so many single women desiring marriage? And I'm speaking about in a Christian environment. In a Christian environment where there's men and women, God-fearing, how is it that there's so many women desiring marriage but not as many men? Now I know women are not the ones that propose to themselves, so the blame is not on women. I just genuinely want to know, what is the issue that as a woman desiring marriage in a Christian environment, what is the issue that you're facing? Because I'm seeing so many high achieving women, and I'm looking around like, how are you desiring marriage when there should be a litter of men lining up at your door? And now I want to know, is it that the men that are in the churches are not doing it for the women, or is it that the men are not interested and they would rather bring a woman from outside the church inside the church? Or is it that the men are not interested? What is the issue? I want to know, what is the issue that you seem to be facing?
To all of you women who have went out of your way to hurt a man for whatever reason you did, to the point where now they think that we're all the same, I have something for you. Because now I keep coming in contact with men who are emotionally unavailable, don't know how to communicate, and they have trauma because you decided to do something to someone.
I am at my wit's end, and no one can tell me anything. I am at my wit's end. I'm at my wit's end, and after a really wonderful night of taking myself out, I am ending it in tears. I am ending it in tears. Because even though I amazing night tonight. I am still coming home alone, and it bothers me. It hurts. It's uncomfortable, and I'm not used to it, so I can complain about it.
What's good, guys? It's your boy Justin J coming to you with another video. Let's cook, boys. Let's cook. All right. Men are choosing singleness. Even church women are struggling in modern dating. So, I made a video a while. I took it down, actually. I didn't want it to come across as like I'm talking down to people, but you know, there's a bunch of guys out there that believe not all women are like that. And what you have to understand is, yes, I know you want to hold on to that and the hope strategy, but women are like that. And when you come from a standpoint of women are not like that, you're putting certain women up on a pedestal as if they're a unicorn. They can do no wrong. And this video is going to dive deeper into that on this nice Sunday. A lot of men are going to think that, you know, my woman can never be capable of something like this, and that's not true. Your woman might not act on that, but she still has the capability. She's still capable to wake up one day and say, you know what, I don't really feel like being this guy's wife. I don't feel like being this guy's girl. And that's just the truth. Even if she never acts on it, it's better that you think this way. More men are actually accepting this, and that's why women are even struggling in the church. See, women have been sold a bunch of lies as well, and this is why they're frustrated. They believe they don't have to do anything. They don't have to lift a finger. They don't have to be better for a man. They just need to stay in the church, and, you know, God will bring them their man, but that's not true. They're realizing it, and they're frustrated. Roll the clip.
And this is why there are so many Christian single women at the church, literally single for years, not getting married, not getting any type of dates, not getting any type of attention. While they are serving at church, they're doing all the right things on paper. They might be in great physical shape. They might have their healing journey all, you know, through and through. They're doing the inner work. They're doing all that. They are focused. They are focused on Christ. They've been focused on Christ for years. They have been doing the things that people have been telling them to do for years, yet they're still single, have no candidates, have nobody looking in their direction. Let me tell you something. The church does not teach Christian women how to date. The church does not teach Christian women to date at all. What they tell us to do is to sit with our hands in our laps and to wait for a man to come at our door. That is not biblically wise. Faith without works is dead, and that applies to every area of our life. If you have a job and you lose that job, are you just going to sit and pray for God to send you a new job and to just stay at home and not apply for a single job? No. If you lose your job, you're going to pray, Lord, please bless me with another job. Of course, there's a faith, but then after that, you're going to go searching for a job. You're going to be applying for jobs, and you're going to pray that God will bless you with the right job. If all you're doing is sitting at home doing 1,000 prayers for your future spouse, you are fasting, you are praying, you're doing all these other things, but you're not actually putting any practical works into dating, more times than not, you are not going to find your spouse.
And the best part about this is men who have discernment, they can see everything clearly. Good women, women who are not like that, right? That's actually the minority if you want to look at it that way. Because if it was the majority, we wouldn't have a problem out here, and women get snatched up quick. We're always talking about traditionalism, doing things the traditional way. 18 through 25, women would be getting snatched up. Why do we have a bunch of leftover women out here complaining? Why? Ask yourself that. If women were religious, they would have been snatched up the whole time. Women don't get that. Roll the clip.
Do single men actually go to church on their own, by themselves? Because people tell me all the time, you should go find a good, godly man at church. Do you know how hard that is to find? I just went to church this morning, and it's a pretty good-sized church. And I just decided for science to look around and just see, is there any single men by themselves? Because I never, no matter what church I go to, no matter what denomination, I almost never see single men by themselves going to church. I looked around, I counted like 15 to 20 women who looked like they were by themselves. Or there was a couple other women who looked like it was just them and one other woman. If I counted them, it was like 25 women. I saw one man who was there by himself. But that one man actually gave me hope for a few minutes. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Again, not because I wanted to like meet him or talk to him, but because I was like, hey, some men do go to church like on their own. It wasn't 2 minutes later after I noticed that a woman came up and sat next to him and held his hand. I was like, just kidding. I looked around on the stage. There was multiple men up there on stage. Between the pastors and the singers, every one of them had a ring on. So you tell me, there was tons and tons of single women there. Although I don't really know the relationship status, there was tons of women there on their own. Not a single man that I could find anywhere in the audience that was by himself. Not one. Do single men go to church? I don't understand it. Help me understand.
It's funny, even when they swear that they're not looking, they just want to know that the men are there, and now the men aren't there. See, when a guy finds a good deal, he commits to that. When he finds a woman that's willing to meet him halfway, he invests in that. Women don't understand. This is what I mean. If you pay attention to the clip, she says, but I saw this one guy, then a woman sat next to him. Everybody on the stage was wearing a ring. Exactly. They got with the good women that wanted to be taken, that wanted to be kept, wanted to be a kept woman. He made an honest woman out of them. You can't relate because you've spent so much time out here, and now you're wondering, where's the time gone? Those women played their position. Another funny thing I find about this is that, women who get on with men and things work, even if they're not religious, they just follow the code and stick to the script. Man, woman, children, community. Even if they're not religious, you always see that happening in a dynamic where it's flowing with a man and a woman.
Right.
She doesn't have to go to church every Sunday.
No.
She's just not a fool.
Right.
Even women in the church don't understand this.
Right.
And the biggest thing that guys need to pay attention to, and this is the best part of having discernment, when women run to the church, it's usually to cleanse themselves of their sins. They want to repent, and this is good. But at the same time, they want men to evaluate them the same way. That's not how it goes. Yes, we shouldn't be judgmental. We should not look down and be mean to people that we don't know. We don't know somebody else's struggle. We don't know somebody else's story. But you have to judge someone's actions and their character, especially if you're going to date them and they're going to come in your life. That's two completely different things. From being very judgmental in a negative way to having positive judgments. I assess this person's character and their performance like at a job, and I say they're a perfect fit for this job. They can bring value here. Women want you to act like, I repented and I cleansed myself of my sins. I want you to see me that way. That doesn't work with men. And that's why they run to church a lot of the times. But see, men with discernment still ain't going. They know that that's not bad judgment. That's making a good judgment. Because you can't be fooled out here. Even though a woman goes to church and you think that a woman's not like that, it's all the same hardware.
Right.
Think about it. There are good guys at, Christian events, Sunday service. There's a website. What is it? eHarmony Christian Mingle. Christian Mingle. That's the one, right? There's all these different ways to meet men. They have little events. There's all ways to meet good Christian men, Catholic men, religious men. But see, at the same time, that doesn't mean that he can't check a bunch of boxes that make him attractive to her. You understand? So they're still picky. They nitpick. They still want the same things. They want a guy who's better than them. But if you're in the church, it should be judging a man's character, right? Judging how that man shows up for his community. Not only himself, but for his fellow brother, for his fellow sister. They don't care about that. How's he going to show up for me, and what does he have? How tall is he? What does he look like? Let's just roll the clip.
Why are there no cute guys in the church? Is he cute? Maybe I can convince myself he's cute. Of course. The good ones got taken up. I came too late. Is it just that men of God aren't cute?
I think in the good year of our Lord of 2025, it is easy to be in a relationship. There's so many avenues to be in a relationship. But at the end of the day, when you're putting yourself first and you're putting your standards first and you have non-negotiables, you're going to wait. You're going to wait. And the wait is worth it. At the end of the day, have good men approach me? Of course. Every good man is not your man.
You have a degree, you have a good job, and you love God. But you're still single. Let me break down the truth that nobody want to tell you. A lot of women says there are no good men left. They waiting on their Boaz. But it's a little deeper than that. A lot of women don't want the male version of themselves. He's on your level. A lot of women don't want the male version of themselves. When you see the male version of yourself, you realize that you probably ain't crap either. When you find the male version of yourself and you don't like it, that's probably because you got some work to do as well. A lot of women are here and expecting a man to be here.
Artificial intelligence has advanced.
That's very true.
To help with every single.
Hey, this is Raul. Please act right. This is how they sound when their money is good.
Who the fuck wants a man in their house? I wouldn't. I just think about having a husband, and I'm like, no thanks.
And this is how they sound when their money runs low.
I just had to choose between putting $4 in my tank to go to work tomorrow, or do I use this $4 for food?
jumping on the internet, dry bagging for people to help them. And then the ones that actually receive money from men, this is what they do.
It says, guy I'm talking to sent me money for groceries, $300, because I didn't have any food. Then I get a text from him later asking me to cook him dinner. Told him no because I'm not his wife, and I only cook for my kids and my husband. He's neither of them. Now I'm blocked, shaking my head. Like, who asks a woman to cook for them before he puts a ring on it?
You hear the audacity? She can accept money from a man for food like he's a husband, but she can't cook for him like a wife. Which is why you have to stop being like and listening to these type of dudes.
I'm gonna be real, man. If you know you can't pay her rent, leave her alone. If you can't pay her rent and pay her rent at the same time, just leave her alone. If you know you can't help her out with a bill, if need be, leave her alone. If you know you can't get her nails done, leave her alone.
If she can't afford to get her nails done, leave her alone. She's a brokey.
Can't help her out, just leave her alone, bro. Why waste time dealing with a beautiful woman knowing that there's dudes out here that's having it for real that don't mind helping her out if she needs it?
And what does her looks have to do with this?
That don't make her a hoe. That don't make her a gold digger. She fine. God made her fine for a reason.
God did not make her fine so men like you could just be giving her money that she didn't earn. That's reserved for wifey.
God made her strong for a reason.
You got that part right, so she can pay her own bills.
And guess what? Most of the time, the strongest men end up with the finest woman. That's how God designed it to be.
No strong man is going to fight over a woman who is beautiful but has no value. Not if he has any sense.
Even the Bible says something about if a man can't provide for a woman, he don't need to be dealing with her. Even the Bible said that.
And what Bible verse is that, sir? Because the Bible verses that I've read says a man is supposed to take care of his wife, not a woman. There's a difference.
So I'm going off scripture. I'm going off biblical. I'm going what the Bible says about a woman. Forget what society says. I'm going what the Bible says.
The Bible also warns us about women who have wicked and evil ways. Did you read those Bible verses?
Right.
Hell, they'll even make videos showing you and telling you that they're going to use you.
I like suckers that are nice to me and want to get me wherever I went and know that I'm the most beautiful, intelligent, hustling ass chick out there.
See, they'll call you a sucker right in your face on a video. Speaking of suckers, you know I'm about to tell you a story, right? So I owned a 2-unit building back in the day, and both the tenants were in it when I bought it. The lady downstairs, she was paying her rent on the 1st for a couple of months. Then one month, she called me and said, "Hey, can I pay the rent on the 6th? My boyfriend didn't get his check." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, your boyfriend's not on the lease." She said, "Oh no, he doesn't live here. He lives in his own place." I was like, "Okay, all right, cool, on the 6th. The 6th came, she gave me the money. I didn't say anything, of course. Some months went by, she was paying on time, and then I said about 5-6 months later, she called me again. "Can I pay a little late because my boyfriend didn't get his check yet?" And I'm like, "All right, cool, no problem." And I'm trying to figure out, why is he living somewhere else and he's paying the rent? All right, so a couple of days went by, she called me, paid the rent. Well, about 18 months after I owned the property, she was on her 6 months of that second lease. She called me and said, "Hey, you know what, I'm just asking, can I break the lease?" I said, "Why, what's wrong?" She said, "Well, me and my boyfriend broke up." And I'm like, "You and your boyfriend broke up?" I'm trying to think, what does that have to do with her breaking the lease? And I said, "What does it have to do with that?" She said, "Oh, because I don't have his money to pay my rent anymore." And I'm like, wait a minute. So this dude has been paying her rent. And remember, this was back in like 1994. This guy was paying her $550 a month rent for 18 months. And they broke up. $9,900 of his money just tossed out the window, y'all. They broke up. Fellas, if you want to give your money to these women to pay their bills, I mean, go ahead and knock yourself out. But you can find yourself giving away your wealth to a woman that can either walk away from you anytime she wants, or you have to dump her because it just ain't working. Fellas, you do not pay the rent or give money to a woman you are not married to. Also, if you see a pretty woman that you don't know anything about, do not ask her out unless she gives you clear signs that she's interested. Also, make sure that you've been dating that woman long enough to know that she's solid and she's with you for the right reasons. If not, then we'll see more videos of women making videos like this, the good-looking ones, begging men to approach them and shoot their shot.
Like Marshall.
So it goes right back to this question.
Guys, in this video, we're going to see the exact reason why some men are done with dating. And also, we're going to see a man who is not familiar with female nature. We will see him become very aware of it very fast.
I don't know if I'm the only one to feel like this, but the act of dating nowadays, it doesn't even emotionally arouse me anymore. Like, I have little to no interest in dating. No, I don't want to get to know you. No, I don't want to tell you what my favorite color is. No, I don't want to tell you a fun fact about me. And no, I ain't trying to cut no pop-wood. I don't know, I just feel like after a while, it just gets so draining and repetitive to go through the same cycles just for it to end the same way. Everybody had the same traumas. I don't know, just the overall process of it just, it doesn't feel rewarding enough anymore. I feel like I gotta put in more energy to go on dates and do a whole bunch of other shit than what I'm getting poured into by the situation. Honestly, where I'm at now, I'm so comfortable with myself. I'm just so comfortable like chilling and being to myself and just being in my own little world. It's gonna take a special motherfucker to pull me from up out of that.
I mean, truly, it's so irritating because I don't want to meet 20,000 girls in my life. Like, I'm not trying to run through girls type shit. But it's like I'm trying to meet a girl who genuinely love me, that I can actually fall in love with, and it's like I'm just running through girls. I'm not saying I'm cracking all of them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm just hanging out with a bunch of girls. I'm just getting a bunch of girls' numbers, and I don't really want to be that type of person. But it's like I get one girl number, I don't like her. After 2 days, I'm like, yeah, she got habits I don't respect. What I'm supposed to do, just be with myself the next 5 months? It's like, nah, I get another girl number the next day. Now she always out at the club. I don't respect her. It's like, bro, I'm tired, bro. It's like I low-key, bro, I haven't approached a girl in 5 months. So technically now y'all got so tired to where it's like, bro, I ain't even trying to get to know y'all no more. Like, I just stay to myself. This shit's so irritating, bro. Because it's genuinely just like, bro, what am I supposed to do? I'm just meeting a bunch of girls I don't like at all. They could be physically there. They could be fine, cute, good body, slim, thick, everything. Then it's like, oh, I got kids. I'm gone. 3 days, I found out you got kids. 3 days later, I'm gone. Now I gotta meet another girl. You know how irritating that is? Oh, we get to hanging out. I'm thinking, oh, she cool. She kind of funny. Now I found out she got a whole past, or she did some shit in her past that I don't feel is valuable to me. Now I gotta go about my day again, bro. Like it's tiring, bro. Cause it's like I just want to meet a girl and she tell me some shit like I'll meet you in the middle, type shit. You ain't gotta be perfect. I'll meet you in the middle, but it's like, damn, can you give me something to work with? Can you be something worth working with and building and growing with? You feel me?
Okay. So now tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. So I took this girl to Trulux and she orders the prime ribeye medium with the king crab lobster, with the king crab truffle butter. It looked amazing. It looked amazing. She doesn't finish it, puts it in to-go box. We end up leaving. I drop her off at her place. She gives me the weakest side hug ever. I was like, all right, I can tell. Like, I'm never probably gonna see you again. I was fine with that, but cool. I get to driving up the street. I'm probably like 3 minutes up the road. And I see her calling, and then I look in the back seat, and I see the to-go box. Am I wrong for putting my phone on do not disturb? I hit her back once I got home, but am I wrong?
You know you're not. You know she only used you for that free food that she left in your vehicle. And that's what she get for programming your name in the phone as my free food guy.
I never thought I'd live to see the day when men would rather be by their damn self than to lay beside something soft, but that's what's happening nowadays. They talking about a male loneliness epidemic, but the truth of the matter is, a lot of men just ain't fucking with the type of women and the type of things that these women are expecting men to do. It's not about a man being sassy when a man tell you that I'm not doing that shit, and I'm not pursuing you because you're not worth pursuing. See, that's the part of the lesson that all of these ladies that's parenting this same message are leaving out. The fact that you have to be worth it, and I ain't talking about what you look like, baby. That's why you see a man leave a woman that people think is a perfect 10 for a woman who is a perfect 4, but got the type of attitude that a man run through a wall to be around. That's why you see that, because it ain't about looks all the damn time, and somehow, some way, y'all done got convinced that just because you look good, somebody's supposed to put up with your bullshit.
Right.
But the truth is, the good men, while y'all talking about wear chilling.
That's right.
I've been married 24 years, but I see what's happening. The good men are chilling. They ain't trying to deal with the bullshit. And you either gonna get right, or you gonna keep enjoying them lonely nights. And I don't care what nobody say, them nights get cold than a motherfucker when you can't get nobody. See, y'all think the pretty lasts forever, but baby, most of y'all is one child away.
I like that. I like that. That's so true. And that's why I, like many men, I haven't been out there either. You know, it'd be nice, but it's just that when you meet somebody, you really take a chance online, because I guess the reason why some men and some women go online, because people have time. When people don't, obviously that's why they come online, but you're taking a 50-50 chance on meeting somebody, but they trying to run some kind of scam on you, some kind of game on you, and it's a bunch of it's a bunch of mess. You know, that's what I counted not too long ago. And I was talking to one of my best friends about, he was telling me about a coworker that he was telling me about this coworker, and he was saying that this coworker he has, he pays all her. She lived home in his apartment for free, his house for free. They have kids together. She don't really work. She received food stamps, and she cheated on him with his best friend. Then she act like they break up. Then she plays this mental gymnastics game with him about she wanted to come back in his life. But then again, one time she made him give her $2,000 for the time that when she first put him out, when he put her out, that he literally reimbursed her for the utilities that she was staying with him in his house. So he gave her $2,000. That's crazy. Not only that, this guy he worked with, right? He barely get 3 hours of sleep. He has to get up with the children and see him off to school and everything. She don't do nothing. She don't cook for him. She don't clean. And he keep telling her, hey, leave her. Oh, I can't do that. Blah, blah. Being the biggest, sound like he's being one of the biggest simps, whatever. And I'm like, my goodness. And women, that's how bad some women have gotten to be. Like, she cheated on him with his best friend. That would have been it right then and there. But no. But this is the reason. But this is what men go through. We know women go through cheating, men cheating on them, but now you hearing it from white men and women of all walks of life. If they watch the video, if you're a single woman, you need to know why you're still single, why men haven't approached you. We've been telling you this, and I knew this when I'm about to play his next video to you. Skylar just made this video. Shout out to Skylar. Watch what he says what happened to the women overseas. A black woman.
For sure that producing the audio Bible.
I got a problem with you men. Why are you treating black women like crap in Thailand? I have a video fresh off the press. We're gonna go over it, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm disappointed in y'all. But before we get to that, sister, let me show you guys something. You guys know my Patreon was suspended, and now I have been suspended from Vimeo. All right, so I had to move service providers. It was a partnership. No harm, no foul. They didn't really like what I was saying on there, so I had to move servers. Also, my boy got his pockets ran in the first 48 hours here in Brazil. So I'm gonna upload that video today, and tell that story and give you guys a warning, okay? Because he did not listen to nothing that I said. And if you haven't already, check out the Discord. We're almost at 3,000 people, okay? So without further ado, let's get to this queen. And if you guys are wondering, my voice is a little hoarse right now. I had to bring the D team over last night. We'll talk about that towards the end of the video. But anyway, let's get to what the sister girl has to say. All right, and you guys tell me what you think. Now, to be fair, she's pretty. Okay, so what's the problem? We have a pretty sister in Thailand, and y'all treating her like crap. Put out, sound off in the damn comments, man. What is the problem with y'all? All right, let's go.
What is up with the black men in Thailand? Are y'all okay? And I'm not even speaking like on a romantic level, but just on a normal, cordial level. Y'all are weird. I seen a black man today just walking, and just like I give everybody else, I gave him a nod and like a little smile. When I tell you this man looked at me like he seen a ghost, and I couldn't do nothing but bust out laughing because what is wrong with you? I get a lot of y'all come over here to sow your wild oats, but that doesn't mean that you instead be rude to any black American that you see.
Okay. I'm trying to not say anything, but we gotta bring this back. We gotta bring it all the way back. I gotta cook this, okay? What's wrong with you men in Thailand? All right, and I'm sorry if it's playing a little bit low. I'm gonna adjust the video, the sound. Don't worry.
Serious question. What is up with the black men in Thailand? Are y'all okay?
The black men in Thailand are perfectly fine, ma'am. They're perfectly fine. Okay? What I don't understand is why are we seeing an overabundance of women going to Thailand, going to the Philippines, going all over the places, and are looking for attention from black men? These women are getting a culture shock in a lot of different ways. They're going to Thailand. Excuse me. They're going to Thailand and they're getting the culture shock from the country itself. Then they're going to Thailand and they're realizing that you ain't the prize over here. Nobody's checking for you. And this is a wake-up call for them. They can't believe it. I literally did a video about the woman in Colombia. She was in customs. And all of the black men were lining up next to her and didn't say shit to her. And she was like, what's going on? They ain't there for you.
And I'm not even speaking like on a romantic level, but just on a normal, cordial level. Y'all are weird.
How are they weird? She said on a normal, cordial level. You men are weird because you don't acknowledge me. So by that logic, ma'am, if I'm at the mall, Redbird Mall in Dallas, Texas, or I'm at Big T Bazaar, or I'm shopping in the Galleria, and we make eye contact, and I say hello or whatever, and you roll your eyes, nobody calls you weird in the U.S. But when you get a dose of your own medicine, now everybody's weird. Now everybody's cordial. Now you want to make TikTok videos about it. Okay? I'm going to tell you guys something. With this whole travel thing, everybody wants to travel now. Somebody showed me a study. Bro, it's like 3 out of 5 women want to leave the U.S. They want to go abroad. They want to travel because people are seeing how content creators are making all this money. And a lot of women are like, yo, I can go to Thailand, I can go here, I can go there, and I may be able to generate and create a stream of income. Okay? But when they go, they realize, hey, it ain't as easy as I thought it was going to be. The black man, she thinking, hey, I'm going to go to Thailand, I'm going to get me a black man, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. It don't work that way.
I seen a black man today just walking, And just like I give everybody else, I gave him a nod and like a little smile. When I tell you this man looked at me like he seen a ghost.
He looked at you like not a ghost. He just did the same thing that y'all do in the U.S. You women be looking at niggas like ghosts when they be trying to look at you and talk to you in the club or at the gas station. You do the exact same thing. But when the roles are reversed, we got a problem.
And I couldn't do nothing but bust out laughing because what is wrong with you? I get a lot of y'all come over here to sow your wild oats. But that doesn't mean that you instead be rude to any black American that you see.
Okay, so now it's rude. Saying nothing is being rude. So she just admitted that when you approach a chick in the U.S. and she look at you like you crazy, that's being rude.
Snoring. Gasping.
Yeah, this is crazy, man. Let me. I'm probably gonna check out this video. Yeah, but I seen this years ago, where remember anybody that remember Charles Tyler, and he brought on that guy Al Grease, and he was saying, and he did a movie about American black men down in Brazil, and he was older gentlemen that some of them have retired, and how it was, and how some of the women on the video was kind of offended about it, and what's wrong with them, and the men was explaining what it was, what type of, how bad it was. They said it was back home. They said they want to deal with the men with the sagging pants and all these other things. But go check out. Look up on. It's probably somewhere on YouTube where Al Grease is the film director of. He got a couple films about that, and Charles Tyler was the late Charles Tyler talked about that, and how that's when it started get attention back in. And I remember watching that video back in 2016, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know so many black men were going down to Brazil to for vacation, and some of the men went down there. American black men, they met their spouses. Some married black, Brazilian, and mixed race, and Brazilian women. They never came back. Some of them never came back up here to the States. Some of them still down there, and they still got Afro-Brazilian men with Afro-American men with Afro-Brazilian women down there, and it's a big thing. They Facebook groups on it. So that's when the trend was happening, and American women back then were just talking all this mess, all you doing this and all you doing that. And there's been a couple cases like it was in Colombia where some men make some bad decisions and they thought with the wrong hand and got themselves in trouble. And then what's really cruel was they said, some women back here kind of laughed at it and wished them bad things. Well, that's good for your behind for going all the way down there and just belittling black men, and so the thing with that, and then the thing later on, years later, with Kevin Samuel, that really took a trend. When Kevin Samuel, he was getting on the men at first, then the women were okay with it. When he addressed the women with the problem, they got really pissed, and he was just, they would wonder why they couldn't meet the type of men that they were talking about. And they cursed that man, they wished that man. And the only thing, however you view Kevin Samuels, but one thing that stuck out what he said was very, very true. He said that, he told one woman, you need Jesus and you need a counselor, because they had some deep issues that he was uncovering. And some women got mad. I went down and someone trying to cast a spell on him. You know what I mean? You never know when some women are that wicked. And so that's one of the problems, what it was. So the American women caused this themselves. They did it with the Me Too movement. They did it with this. Oh, you know, the last about 5-6 years. You know, it's a creepy. You tell men to leave you alone. You know, don't look at me. You know, don't come next to me. You know, and so, and then you have to be careful if you even how you speak to a woman on the job. You have to be careful in different settings. So men were practically neutered here in America. And I'm telling you, this is what it was. Women don't understand this stuff. Then this Me Too movement came along, and they call it the R culture. We have an R culture. You know what the R culture is. And so it's like, man, is that graphic? You know, and men start, you know, they had songs, you know, not dealing with no man, and this is what the women were singing. This is what the women. This is, you know, women don't put this together. That there are some men heard what you said, you know, and you have mentally played these men. Some women have played mental gymnastics with men. They felt like they do. Then you hear some women say, he's always around me. He's always crowding my space. He's always calling me. He's always doing this. So, you know, oh, he's this. And they start whining and complaining to the point that these men got tired. They got getting played, you know, and things like that. And then it's like, oh well, deal with it. And they sit back and laugh at it. So this is what happened. So the women, why are women are single? Because they like to play mental gymnastics with men. And now, and how I think I want you, you know, then when you get with them, I don't know when to be around you. I'm not attracted to you no more. Then she, you know, because a dude over here attractive. Then some women got to tell you how fine another man is in front of your face. This is your woman. And disrespect you like that. It's like, wow. So there are women, you know, and say, okay, then go find that so-called man you're attracted to. You know? So those same men some of these same men went overseas and found them women. Sometimes it's the woman's mouth that caused the men to go. They still haven't figured that out yet. It's your mouth. That it's your own words, it's your own actions. You know, you say one thing, you make videos on it on TikTok and other platforms, berating, belittle men. You know, and then they flip it around and say, well, it was men belittling us. No, it hasn't. Men was pointing out the attitude that you have. Men was pointing at maybe certain things that they don't really care for what the separate thing between their nose, or maybe this. And I've heard some white men, like black men, said that they don't like the fake hair. I've heard white men said the same thing. This is the truth. And there's women that got offended about that. There's some men are like that. And then they made an issue, and then it's like, and then it's just like some men, you see other men doing good things for certain women, you know, women would online, you know, men would come home from a job. How come you can't make me a sandwich? Why I gotta make you a sandwich and this and that? They made it, this message went out. What I'm saying that the message went out, so men like women saw this was going and say, hell, man, if this is the type of women out there, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to meet these same women that's probably in the reason why they're not in the club or the dance, you know, places, or now it's the church now. Because it's the women they spoke so much and complained so much. And there were other women that tried to advise these women, but they got their ego erupted. No, we independent, we strong, we this, we that. And women, you know, I'm not willing to change this. I'm not doing this. So men saw this. It's some of you women's fault that did this. And you don't want to take accountability that with the very words that come out your mouth turned the men away. That's why Even the men that you're attracted to don't want to do with you because they see the real you. And like the young man said, you think it's all about your looks and all about you did all these things and all this. Some of you do it. I don't know why. Put your life in danger for BBLs and stuff like that. Botox. It ain't gonna change the fact that what it is. It's all about the person. It's not about that. It's your personality. The looks are going to change. Men's look change, like women's look change. But what does the character of the men that you want? Well, men want a certain character of woman, a femininity, nurturer, something that God-given, a loving heart, a loving spirit. That's what the men would from the age 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s want. But I'm not giving you that cuddle. I'm not a touchy-feely person. I'm not this. I'm not going to cook for you. I'm not this. So guess what? What do the women like that? Guess what? Miss Independent. I'm smarter than, and I'm better. Man got to make my kind of money. Those men are gone. Now you have the money. Now you have the career. You got the degrees. Now it's you. And you don't want to take accountability. It's you. It was all that time. You're too pretty, you too this. I'm too pretty to be next to him. Now you're pretty, but you got an ugly attitude. That's what the men were saying. It's your attitude. It's your personality. Your personality sucks. Your mannerism. And you wonder why you're attracting studs. Women trying to be like us men. Because your personality gives off rebellion. Yeah, I'm not into women like that. You're attracting them because they have the same spirit as you. That's why women who are in that lifestyle, that's what they're attracted to. Because they know you don't what you say about men. Studs, lesbians. That's what they are. And you might not be a lesbian or a stud lesbian, that's attractive, but you give that masculine energy, a rebellious energy. Men don't want that. Real men don't. Any men don't want that. No man's going to submit up under you. No straight men don't want to deal with that. Don't have the tolerance for that. And if it's a simp, you won't respect him. That's the truth. You won't feel attracted to him. That's what's wrong. Why some of you women are single, and you know it. You got this masculine mouth. You got to be argumentative. You got to feel like you got to win the battle on argument. You got to test that man. You got to call him out his name, push his manhood to the point. We'll see what kind of man he is. He's gonna put me in my place. You got some women like that. You're gonna stress him out to the point, or you're gonna break him. Then if it can turn bad, and you can lose everything for both of you. He can lose things, you can lose things. Tell me, all this bravado as a woman, as a sister woman, has that solved anything? Him going to jail because you two had a bad argument? Because you want to test this man to see how much, excuse the French, the nigga come up out of him? But some of you respond to that. Some of you women respond to it. That's why men are tired. That's why men are done. They want peace. They've told you this. Some of you don't listen. So some of you gonna remain single, not because it's your actions. And you have to help the God Almighty declone and teach you how to put on the nurturing, the nature of a woman. Only God can do that. The Most High. You need help with that. And then when you do, he'll bring the man. There's a Boaz into your picture. That's the message for this video. Like and subscribe. Yes, women, that's why the men are not coming forth. Because something is psychologically you done, some of the words you said, there was time to hold these, maybe the Spirit of God tell you, shh, but you just, I gotta let it all out. And once words out, trying to damage and hurt his manhood, you ruin it. You ruin the relationship because of your words. You didn't have to physically attack him. Think about it. Hope this message and good luck into your relationship. And maybe there's a woman from any age group, any race, will hear this and maybe take assessments of yourself. And you'll see you won't have men fleeing the country till you deprogram and program up under the Most High. Take care.